When Visual Alive was kind of explained, it was exciting because it was one of the first new uses of BIM technology and kind of virtual reality that seemed to directly apply to how we use construction.
The ability to use Visual Live during construction, bringing your engineering and operations teams in to see how the room is going to be laid out, how they're going to work in the room, helps give them not only an idea of the space, it gives them the ability to start thinking about storage, workspaces, tool storage, and how they literally move around the building. I think that on any new building construction site or in any renovation or tenant improvement, it would be a valuable tool for any facilities department.
We brought out this technology to show them why what they wanted to do wasn't going to work in the space that was half constructed. And to have that team that is that invested in technology go, whoa, why don't we know about this? And immediately see why what they wanted wouldn't work allowed us to problem solve right then and there, midway through construction, and figure out a different alternative, and also impress an owner that's really difficult to impress. It was definitely one of those moments that felt like we had immediately paid off any costs associated with it.
I just want to say that I'm really excited about the new technology that our industry is starting to use. We started with virtual reality, really helped customers make decisions ahead of time. But now this augmented reality is super exciting. We're going to use it on future projects also, but what we did here is we had really tight spaces in our mechanical areas. It was a renovation of an existing art museum, and did our 3D modeling, and then we wanted to bring the actual engineering team for the art museum into those spaces and get a look at what it was going to look like when it was finished ahead of time, and to see if they saw any issues with it. So we brought them all in, they looked at it, they were really excited about this technology we're using as well. They hadn't worked with any other contractors that had used this before, and we made a couple, I think, minor changes from their comments and built it out, and then it turned out really well for them. They're really excited about how the space turned out and that they were able to see it ahead of time and make any minor changes that they were looking to make.
It allows you to take a snippet, a snapshot of what we're talking about, so anyone that wasn't involved in the walk, we could just educate them with a nice visual on what we were talking about. And for the first building, definitely is a longer process. You have to come back and tell people to reinstall things, so obviously way more than a day. In our first building, because we have two buildings, our first building, we found a lot of the architectural wood being cut because of all these MEP overhead obstructions. And so, for the architect, that's an eyesore, aesthetically speaking, like not acceptable. So knowing that Visual Live, you can see everything up ahead. I could see where the wood is gonna stop and where the MEP is gonna land. And if it's gonna land inside the wood, if MEP is gonna interfere with like the nice design finishes, I could see that ahead of time. And that's what I did. So I just walked the space, see where my problem areas were, had things moved around before we even really had to move them around. You can install it once in the right location.